All right. Bob Riley from High Life here with Michael Smullen of AltMed MUV. Thank you for taking time out of the conference to interview with us. A lot of people want to know what AltMed is, what MUV is. Can you talk about a little bit about your company culture, how you got into the industry, and anything else that you would like to share?
Sure. I'm happy to do that. I think I'll start with what really brought me to the medical cannabis industry, because I could have never imagined 5 years ago that this is what I'd be doing. I had spent 31 years in the pharmaceutical and biotech industry. I was fortunate. I worked for 4 different companies. 3 of them were startups, all of them successful. The last company that I had worked for was really a home run. It was a company that had developed a drug to prevent a virus called respiratory syncytial virus, which is a real issue for kids born prematurely. So, I was really excited about helping bring a drug to market that has saved the lives of so many premature infants in this country. And 10 years after we started the company, a big pharmaceutical company, AstraZeneca, came in and offered us $15.6 billion for the company. Home run all the way around. For me, I was at a bit of a crossroads because I was, relatively young. I had been to the top of the mountain and, thinking what really is next? I didn't want to do anything less than that particular company I had worked for. So I thought I'd probably be back at work in a year or two, but it was 7 years. And again, it was a serendipitous way that I found myself in this industry. I have a daughter who suffers from epilepsy. She had her first grand mal seizure sitting on my lap when she's 2.5 years old. I can't even describe how horrific that experience was. And I thought once we found out it was epilepsy, the worst was behind us, because at least we knew what it was and we knew that it could be treated. And coming from the pharmaceutical industry, I knew all the treatments that would be available to her, and I was confident that she would do fine. I was wrong. We spent the next 10 years with my little girl, not having regular seizures, but the side effects were so debilitating that it really squashed her spirit. So I made a decision when she was 11 years old to take her off of everything. And she's doing great today. She's doing phenomenal. She hasn't been on anything for the last 7 years, has not had a seizure. But I had this thought in the back of my mind: if there ever was a biotech startup company that offered a novel approach to treating epilepsy, particularly for kids, I'd be all in. And it was just one evening when I happened to catch a little bit of the first Weed 1 special with Dr. Sanjay Gupta. And I watched the little girl, Sherwood Figgy, out in Colorado, going through the ordeal that she went through. And I saw the miracle of what happened to her when they introduced a high CBD cannabis oil to her. And I started doing my own research, and what I found just completely rocked me. I saw some great work being done in Europe and in Israel, and I knew at that point in time that I wanted to build the premier medical cannabis company in the US. And I was all in. We put our own money into the company. My wife became head of philanthropic endeavors. As we've supported a number of foundations over the last few years associated with diseases that could benefit from medical cannabis. And we've built a company called AltMed. And that company was started in 2014 in Sarasota, Florida.
So you're a Florida company?
We're a Florida company. All our employees are Florida-based, and they're Florida residents, and I'm very proud of that. AltMed Enterprises is a holding company. We have 3 subsidiaries that fall underneath AltMed Enterprises. One of them is AltMed Arizona. We got a vertical integrated operation out there with a grow, which, by the way, a facility that was one of the first facilities in the US to get an ISO 9001 certification for high standards. We do processing, manufacturing, and product development out there. And then we've got our second division, which is really new trade. It's the thing that really excites me the most. It's our product development arm for AltMed. And it's also our licensing arm. And then finally, AltMed Florida, which I'm really proud of. To be one of 17 license holders in the state of Florida is a great opportunity. I think that one of the things that maybe separates us out from the pack just a little bit is that, we operate at the highest standards for all that we do. I mean, the kind of grows that we build, the kind of processing that we do, the kinds of people we hire, our customer service, all those things are things that are, extremely important to us. But from the very beginning, we have been really focused on putting our energy and resources into research and development and product development. And today, after having started our program back in 2014, I can confidently say that we've got one of the most robust and innovative medical cannabis lines in the US. And what's really exciting about it, not only are the patients in Florida beginning to benefit from those kinds of products and things that are a bit novel. We're looking to bring out devices that can deliver medical cannabis with a bit more precise dosing than just smoking it.
Right.
And so, we've got transdermal patches that have a 72-hour duration of action. We have a meter dose inhaler. We have a number of other things as well. But I think that's what I'm most proud of. And we continue to challenge our scientists here in Florida to stay ahead of the curve. They come out with a new product, exciting product, and I thank them and congratulate them, and then I ask them to go back and see what else they can come up with. So I think, that's one of the things that will always separate AltMed from other companies, that we're so focused on our R&D and product development.
Awesome. Can you talk a little bit about, you basically have recently launched several dispensaries. Can you talk about how some of the challenges that you face trying to launch those dispensaries in the state of Florida?
Yeah, it's, we've been given this wonderful opportunity, the opportunity to build out 30 dispensaries. And, on the surface that seems great, but there are so many challenges trying to work with local municipalities to find locations that are acceptable to them, meeting the criteria that they would like. A number of areas that we'd like to be in have created their own moratoriums. If I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. We don't want to be the first to allow a medical cannabis dispensary in here. Or you have those that say, well, we already have one and we don't want a cannabis dispensary on every corner. We've been lucky in that the first 3 dispensaries we've built out are different than what I think the perception is in those communities of what a dispensary could look like. And so we're sort of using those to give tours to officials from other areas that are, perhaps a little bit troubled with the idea of having a medical cannabis spot there. So we bring them out, we take them through our facility, and lo and behold, they're more open to us being there.
Awesome. And then I want to pivot to CBD. State of Florida made the whole flower cannabis.
Yeah.
So technically CBD is illegal. As a license holder, you've spent millions of dollars to be able to get that license, to be able to also produce CBD, but yet you can go to the gas station around the corner and purchase it. Can you talk a little bit about how your CBD is different probably than from something off the street? And then 2, can you also mention or talk to your thoughts on the legality of it in the state of Florida?
Sure. So yes, it's true that there is hemp-derived CBD that allows people in the state of Florida to be able to sell it pretty much anywhere. And then you've got the CBD derived from the marijuana plant, which usually contains higher levels of THC. One of the things that AltMed really believes in is the idea of the entourage effect, having the full plant, which it makes a big difference, in particularly with a number of conditions out there that really require different cannabinoids working together. And so, there's a couple things. One, we believe that, the products that we're developing from the marijuana plant are superior. 2, we believe in the entourage effect. And 3, we know how our products are tested. And I think, I'd be very leery about just walking into any gas station and buying a CBD product, knowing the rigor that, that we put into the development of all of our products.
Well, I wanted to thank you for taking time out of the conference to interview with us.
Thank you. I appreciate being here today.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.